subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man. Man, you talking?
They stood strong through it all.
Yeah, you mentioned riding dirty. How did you feel when you first heard Pimp say that put that one day out there, man, with that line and about all
He
that?
bought it to me right after the studio.
Hmm.
Yeah, he hit the highway, called me. I was at a restaurant. He called me and tried to let me hear it. You remember how people say, "Listen to this in the car." I couldn't hear it. Well, he beat me. What he did back then, he beat me, and I called him back from the restaurant, and he said, "Well, I'm on my way." It was him and Leroy White.
Hmm.
They drove up to Dallas just to let me hear that song. We played that shit 80 times, 100 times, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. They slept on the floor and on the couch. Got up the next morning, came back to Houston.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I first heard it, how did I feel? Oh, it fucked me up because it was still too new to me.
That's why. How soon was it between like it actually happening and then him recording the song?
December the 8th is when little man died, and he bought me that song. Whew, February,
Hmm.
something like that. It was pretty quick. February, March, something like that.
Man, that's something that I don't know, man. It always stuck out with me. Can you talk a little bit about just that whole situation? You know
The
what I mean?
housewives
Yeah.
did. Yeah, they were four babies. Um, Set of twins. They were like maybe 2 years old. My little boy had just turned 5 in October. The only reason why I was in Dallas was because they were UGK was filming, recording Riding Dirty, and they were doing pre-production, and the label kept flying them to do, like places like Chicago and New York to meet with all these different musicians and stuff, and go to these different studios. But that's not the budget to bring the hype man or the DJ with them, so it would just be those two. And I didn't have no car in Port Arthur, so I said, man, I'm gonna go home, chill for a minute. The album come back out, I just come back. Actually, I was gonna come back before the album came out, but the only reason I stayed is because that happened. So I was there and I was gonna work through Christmas. They got me a little gig. I was gonna work through Christmas so I could buy my mom a Christmas gift. And before Christmas happened, that happened. Yeah, it was a fucked up situation. Four babies died, and yeah, yeah. It was it was in like the back part of the house, like an add-on section that his granddad, the girl I was dating at that time, her dad had built on. He was a contractor, and so he had built that up. He had been there for years, and I don't know, maybe the wiring got frayed and burnt the house up or whatever, but it was wiring that caused the fire, and yeah, it was fucked up. Still fucked up.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Lil Jon.
Do you still can you still listen to like one day, or is that something that you kind of just like
I could listen
because
to
of
it.
that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. I
Hmm.
don't like listening to it.
Hmm.
I don't like listening to it, but I've heard that song so much that now, during the times of me battling with depression and going through regular life situations and fucked up shit in your life, my wife and my kids and just a village of people around me have just helped me out and kept me sane. Because shit, I spin out of control. I'm that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I cuss and yeah. She saw me spinning out of control. She pulled my coattail and like, hey, might need to go to the doctor. And so yeah, I was cussing people out and everything, going off on my kids. When depression hit, it's a serious situation that you don't know that you're going through and you don't realize because it builds up gradually. Seems like, and then once it's there, it's just a norm. You don't realize it, and then once somebody calls you on it, it's up to you to determine whether or not you want to do something about it or not. You can be like one of how black people and black men. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't gonna do shit, but I ain't taking no medicine. I damn sure ain't gonna go talk to no therapist. So I heard all that's good, and I know for a fact that the medication is good.
Hmm.
Cause without it, I'd be probably, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate. That's my, huh? She wouldn't be with me. See that? She said I'd be single.
Man.
Donnie Houston.